Hey class, this is Mrs. Lynn. Welcome to another week of remote learning. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Right now, I'm recording this on a Sunday afternoon, and I know it's beautiful out. So hopefully, you guys all got a chance to go outside a little bit to enjoy that nice sun and fresh air. So let's get started with this week's lesson. We're going to go back to code.org and go to lesson 5, which is called Nested Loops in Maze. So last week, you were introduced to the concept of loops, which is just a way in programming that let you program for repeated action. So nested loop is basically the next step up, and it's a loop that's within another loop. Okay, so you'll see as we go through the different levels what that means. So I'm going to walk you through a couple of levels to get you started. But remember, during the week, if you have any problems solving these puzzles, you can always email me to request a Zoom meeting, or you can write a comment in Google Classroom, and I will usually get back to you within an hour or two. Um, Now, we don't meet on Fridays, or we won't be meeting this Friday because of a teacher PD, which means you should probably get started on these levels when they're assigned on Tuesday. That way, you give yourself enough time during the week to reach out to me because I won't be available on Friday. All right, so let's get started. So in level 1, I think this is just a review of just how to do loops in general. So in the instruction section, it says, this is going to be great. Help the bee collect all of the nectar. Okay, that seems simple enough. I can see in my game board here that the bee needs to move 3 spaces in order to collect all the nectar, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say move forward. And after that move forward, I'm going to move forward again, right? And then there is a new block called get nectar, which is what's going to let me get nectar. And then what I would have to do again is to move forward again, right? And then get nectar again, since there's 2 flowers from which I can get the nectar. Okay. Now, if I were to run this program, it will probably work. But remember, we're trying to use our loops, which makes our code a little bit more concise. And that's what programmers really want to do, right? They want to make their code as concise as they can. So do you notice any lines in our code that repeat? Okay, so looking at it, I notice that I do have 2 lines of code that repeat, and it's these move forward and get nectar lines, right? So the first set of get move forward and get nectar is here, and then here's the second set. Okay, so I'm gonna take that second set and I'm gonna put it next to the first set. That way you can see that they're exactly the same. So since these 2 lines repeat, I can actually use a repeat block. Okay, I'm actually going to get rid of that extra set. And I'm going to move these 2 lines that repeat inside that repeat block. Okay, now notice that it's grayed out. It's grayed out because it's not connected to my run block. So make sure they're connected. Now I don't want this code to repeat 5 times. I want to repeat it 2 times, right? Because there's only 2 flowers. Okay. And after that, I should be set. So let's go ahead and run that program. Okay. That number there tells you how much nectar there was to collect. Okay. And then there it is. All right, let's move on to another stage. It's going to take a little bit of time to load because my computer has been pretty slow this week. All right, so here's the second stage. Now, again, I'm seeing the bee and all these flowers that I have to collect the nectar, right? All right, so let's try this out. So when run, I know I have to move forward one space, and then I have two flower nectars, right, that I have to collect. So just like last time, now this time I already know I probably need a repeat block, so I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that block. And I know I have two flower nectars to collect, so I'm gonna go ahead and click two, okay? And inside that loop, I'm going to move forward, right? And then I'm gonna move, sorry, before I move forward again, I'm gonna get the nectar, okay? And then I'm gonna basically do that twice to get these first two flowers, okay? Now what happens next? So the next thing I'm gonna do once I'm here is I'm gonna move forward again, right? So I'm gonna go and move forward. So I'm here, and then I'm gonna do the repeat block again to collect these two flowers, okay? Oh, you know what I forgot to do though? I forgot to turn right. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn right. Let's see, right here, right? I'm gonna turn right, okay? And then I'm gonna move forward and then repeat twice, okay? Turn right again. Oops, sorry, not turn right. I'm gonna move forward and get nectar, right? So that should take care of my flowers here. Then I'm going to turn right again, right? Because there's a corner here that I'm turning right. I'm going to move forward, okay? And then I'm going to repeat twice again that move forward, get nectar, okay? So move forward, get nectar. Oops, I did not go into the block I want. All right. And that should take me right here, and I should have collected all my nectar. So let's see if that works when I run it. Okay, I hope that makes sense for you. I'm gonna go ahead and run it. Notice how my bee is turning right, okay? And then that's it. I got to the end of that line. Now, um, do you notice where I have more repeated code? Oh, it just went to level 3 on its own. All right, so let me go back to level 2 again and realize that it was going to go directly to level 3 for me. All right. So level 3 is actually going to talk about probably what I'm going to show you right now in level 2. Okay. So load is taking a while to load. All right. So here are my code. Okay. And we already ran it. So you know that it works. But do you guys notice any repeated code? Okay, so I know that after this first move forward, I have this repeat 2 times and then turn right, move forward. And then I have repeat 2 times, turn right, and then turn right, move forward. And then this repeat 2 times. So I can see that these set of codes, let me break it apart again so we can do it side by side. Okay, do you guys see that there's repeated blocks here? Okay, so this repeat 2 times block and this turn right and move forward block are repeated here and partially repeated here, right? I didn't actually have to do the turn right or move forward blocks here because all I was asked to do is to collect the nectar and I didn't have to move forward any more than that, okay? But if I were to try to get the bee back to kind of like the starting point, I would turn right again. I could do that, right? And then I can move him forward again. Okay, so as you can see, I do have 3 sections of code that repeat itself. Okay, So what would you have done if it was just lines of code? You would use a repeat block, right? So let's try it this way. Let's see if this makes sense. So I'm going to drag another repeat block over. Okay. And how many times are these codes repeated? Three times. So I'm going to go and click three times. Okay. And then inside that block, I'm going to put in one of these codes because that's the code that's repeated. Right. Right. This is the code that was repeated three times. Okay. So this is what a nested loop basically looks like. I have one loop here, okay? But inside that loop, inside this first repeat three times loop, I actually have another repeat loop, okay? And basically what this is telling me is I'm gonna do everything in here three times, okay? And what everything in here entails is actually another loop. Okay, so I hope that kind of makes sense now that I kind of have kind of show you the different things that are repeating in this whole program. Let's try to run it and see if that code works. So remember we have a nested loop. Okay. All right. So I hope you guys saw that. Now remember this last turn here, even though I've repeated this turn right and this move forward block, I really didn't need it. But just for the sake of showing you what could be related, what could be repeated within another loop, that's why I'm kind of including that there. Okay. If I wanted that bee to get to that home space, I would basically put in another couple of move forwards, right? And that will basically allow the bee to go back. Okay, so that's kind of what a repeated or a nested loop would look like. It's a loop inside another loop. Okay, and that's what you're going to be working on this week. So hopefully that's pretty straightforward. Hopefully it's not too confusing. But if it is, remember you can reach out to me using email or the comment section in Google Classroom. And I'm always available to help you during the week. So have a great week. I know I won't see you on Friday, but have a great week anyway, and I'll see you the week after that. Talk to you later. Stay safe, stay healthy.